Musk's young DOGE employees are basically being revealed. And I talked about this on After Hours yesterday. Shout out to everybody that was a part of After Hours yesterday. But the young employees is being revealed, and people are absolutely in an outrage. These liberals are in an outrage. This is some of what's being said. Check it out.
President Trump and Elon Musk are moving forward to make significant changes to the U.S. Agency for International Development. And critics are arguing USAID has become a slush fund wasting taxpayer money. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt gave a blistering account of the agency's absurd spending yesterday.
Here's the reason why Elon Musk and others have been taking a look, because if you look at the waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government.
Wow. I hope they were taking notes. Now we're learning more about Elon Musk's small army to cut the wasteful spending. These young engineers were reportedly handpicked by Elon Musk, and the oldest is just 25 years old. And
when y'all see this picture right here and you're looking at these guys, what do you think? Because I was asking the people on the panel yesterday, on After Hours, and they actually thought that it would be a great thing. They didn't object to it whatsoever. What do y'all think about these young guys? They saying that the majority of these young guys are freshly removed out of high school. Some of them are interns. All of them are interns or they work for major companies. And that they're basically the six of these guys, one, two, three, four, five, six of these guys. Somebody said number three from the left or number four from the left, they might have questions about him. But in a general sense, what do y'all think about these young bulls that's going in and basically an upending an agency and determining what's going to happen, and they don't have any kind of real true biases because the only thing that they knew is how to get things done and how to take care of business. What do y'all think about these young bulls? What do y'all think? I like them. I like them 100%. I like them 100%. But let's continue. I want to pivot over to CNN as usual because they did a review with Wired and they were basically breaking down all of the details of these young bulls that's coming in there and what's going on with Elon Musk. Let me move over to when she started talking to her, and then we'll deep dive into it going on from there. All right.
Musk is sending in to these federal agencies. So, Kim, I mean, these stories are sort of amazing. And then you're thinking, what world are we living in where you have, an unelected, unconfirmed individual with so much power going into a system with trillions of dollars of payments and other government agencies? You've been focusing on 6 computer engineers. They're all men and they are young. The youngest is 19.
And Aaron,
Why does it matter that they're men? That's one of the things that I'm trying to figure out. Why does it matter that they're all men and that they're young? Somebody last night said that woke liberals and raging liberals will be mad because there's no black person in there. But let's continue.
Just to be clear, this is the world we are living in. And Wired has been documenting a few sort of small parts of this world, including, yes, we have identified, and our reporting has identified 6 young men. All of our reporting indicates they are between the ages of 19 and 24. They are either recent high school or recent college graduates. High school graduates in at least one case.
That makes them mad right there.
Either Musk-owned companies or Peter Thiel-owned companies. So one is a former Palantir intern, another interned at SpaceX. One is a Thiel fellow. Another recently completed a summer internship at Neuralink, which of course is also owned by Elon Musk.
All right, so what?
Hey, imagine getting let go because you was being lazy at your job by a former intern at Palantir or at Neuralink.
What are they actually doing, and who's paying them for the work?
Well, it's to be candid, a little bit difficult to ascertain exactly what they are doing. What we do know is they are working across several federal agencies, including DOGE, of course, as well as the Office of Personnel Management, which is essentially the HR function for the government, and the General Services Administration, which oversees things like federal buildings, leases, and then technology and IT. So what we do know is that these young men are working at the behest of Musk and his team that he has brought in across these agencies on a number of engineering-related tasks.
So, okay, Elon Musk wants anyone, talking about this, sharing the names of these DOGE employees charged with a crime. Obviously, these are people who are going in and now going to have access to payment systems that, affect hundreds of millions of Americans, possibly if you talk about Treasury and certainly federal employees. He's got the backing of the U.S. Trump attorney in Washington, says the FBI and prosecutors are investigating.
Yep.
Has Musk reached out to you or any of his lawyers or anything?
We haven't heard from Musk or his legal team. Obviously, what I would say is that our reporting speaks for itself. It is rigorously reported and fact-checked and vetted by our spectacular legal team. And we look forward to continuing doing the work, trying to figure out exactly what Elon Musk and his team are doing inside of these federal agencies.
And it's important work. It's brave work.
Thank you.
In terms of what they're doing, do you know what they're doing when they go in this? I mean, are they, I don't know, looking at this data, putting this data somewhere else, or do we know what they're doing?
Well, let me give you sort of one specific example that we were able to ascertain. In at least some instances, these men appear to be essentially evaluating the work product of federal employees. So, one of the sort of departments that sits inside one of these federal agencies is tasked with essentially IT and technology. So we do know that one of these young men, a recent high school graduate who interned at Neuralink, was part of meetings where federal employees in this department were asked to submit code if they were engineers, as well as a one-sheet documenting their productivity. So sort of recent wins, barriers to productivity, barriers to efficiency, which actually calls back to Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. If you recall, he also, in that instance, asked Twitter employees to submit one-sheets documenting their productivity, as well as conducted code reviews. So we know that at least one of these individuals with a Gmail email address, I should add, as of late last week, has been meeting with federal workers to review their code and their productivity. So that's what they're up to.
So basically, what she's saying is these employees are basically going through the same way that they went through at Twitter. Remember when Elon Musk took over Twitter? I don't know if any of y'all actually remember when Elon Musk took over Twitter. Everybody said that it was going to crash and burn, that it was no longer going to be a thing, that it wouldn't be up and running, that the whole company was going to go down and drain, that they needed every last one of those employees that was there because they were essential workers, and we didn't need to gut all of these departments because we needed everybody to do their job in order for the company to stay up and running, even though the company was never profitable since its inception. Twitter had never been profitable. They never had a profitable year prior to Elon Musk coming in. Then Elon Musk came in and say, okay, we don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need you. For everybody else, we don't need all of these masseuses over here. We don't need all of these diversity, equity, and inclusion employees over here. But for the rest of y'all, I need y'all to submit a one sheet. This was the process. They said, I need y'all to submit a one sheet. And in that one sheet, let me know what your successes are. Let me know what your job description is, what your barriers to entry are, what are your problems, and how you continue to be productive and add value into the company. And then you start seeing a lot of women pop up on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube saying, oh my God, I got laid off from Twitter. I got laid off. I don't know what to do. Without me, the company is going to fail. And they actually are thriving more than ever. You don't see any downtime. You don't see any issues. You don't see any problems. We removed the censorship. They then revealed all of the documents that basically said that the Biden administration and people previous to that was throttling them and withholding information, and they were kicking everybody off of social media platforms in an effort to censor them. So basically, we got transparency, we got better ran companies, and we got better employees that weren't diversity, equity, and inclusion, but that was focused on making sure that the company was running at its optimal position, which now allows for X, formerly known as Twitter, to be able to run efficiently and profitably. That is basically what's happening. Government employees for the longest has been able to sit there and not add any value. I'm not saying all of y'all, because some of y'all are incredibly great at what you do, but a lot of y'all have been just basically getting paid for the stay. Y'all have been quiet quitters for a long time. Basically, you're doing the minimum possible just to stay on the payroll, but you're probably going to get your nails done, your hair done, nails done, everything did, hair done, nails done, everything. Oh, you fancy, huh? Y'all been chilling for a long time. And then you will complain and say, nobody wants to hire an older worker. That's because you get lazy as you get older. You get complacent. You don't actually add to your skill set. You've been doing the same thing for a long time. And since we're using taxpayer money, we haven't had to be responsible looking at it from a business perspective the same way that most other companies look at it. But now you got to submit a one sheet. You don't even know what a one sheet is. When the last time y'all actually had a real review? How many of y'all actually know your boss's name? It's different in private corporate America and private or publicly owned companies than it is to be a federal worker. It's way different. Most federal workers that I know are lazy and they don't do anything. Nothing, nada, zilch. Most federal workers that I know, and again, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, then don't worry about it. Most federal workers that I know are lazy. I'm being honest with you. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. We gonna tell the truth and shame the devil, or we gonna act like we don't know what's going on? Most workers are lazy. That's just the honest to God truth. It does. That's all right. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me.
Incredible. All right, Katie, thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank
Katie
you for
Drummond
having
and
me.
a team at Wire doing.
Don't get mad at me. Look at Chandre feeling some type of way. Chandre, are you bothered by my analogy and my soliloquy? Because see, if I open up the lines and I say, okay, well, call me and let me know. Tell me how you're not lazy. Tell me how you more productive. Listen, most men. All right, now we got to have a conversation. If you are a man, if you are a man, I ain't even gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. Don't worry about it. We'll get there. We'll get there. Most people I know that wind up becoming federal workers, to be honest with you, they don't believe in a job that they doing. They actually are doing it to be either A, comfortable, or B, they doing it in order to get their student loan forgiven. I know ain't nobody gonna call. That's why I ain't even gonna drop the link in the chat. Most federal workers, most, not all, if the shoe fit, wear it. They are there because they know that it's easy and it's comfortable. Most, not the ones with the high security clearances and all of that, right? Most, or they're there and they trying to bide their time long enough to get their student loan forgiven after 10 years of paying based off of their income, not actually paying what they borrowed. When women a lot of times go to school and they get their $100, $120, $150,000 loans and some trash degree, they wind up becoming public service employees and then they apply for the program so that they can get their student loans forgiven. Oh, y'all didn't like that, huh? Y'all don't like that I'm telling the truth? Now we got to have real conversations because I don't have to worry about being part of legacy media and I'm actually telling y'all what's really happening. You get your fifth year, you're like, skip it. I might as well stay in there because I can't afford to pay my loans. And if I get 5 more years based off of what I say that based off of what I say what my expenses are and what my income is, I can get my student loans forgiven. So now you got your little social work degree, or you got your African American studies, and then you go and work for the federal government, or you go and become a public service employee and you work there for 10 years, you can get your student loans forgiven. That's why they there. They there for the benefits because you get incredible benefits. You there to get your student loans forgiven, and you there because it's easy and it ain't hard. It's easy. It's slow motion. It's chill music. You know what I'm saying? Half of y'all ain't even at work half the time that y'all supposed to be there. And so now you get mad at me because they auditing you to figure out what you really do on a daily basis, and it's messing up your plans. It's messing up your plans. But they say, Anton, don't tell the truth because it's not popular. Oh no, we really are productive. You ain't productive. You lying. You don't even do nothing. You work 1.5 hours per day. You've gotten so good and your job has become so easy that you ain't even tripping about it no more. You chilling. You chilling. You can coast. You coast every single day. Every day you chilling. You coast. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that out loud. You told me that you wanted to have a conversation. Now you mad because you about to get laid off. And don't worry about it. Listen, this is what I know for sure, and then we're going to move over to the next part of the show. Federal employees have not felt the pain that the rest of us has felt in our lifetime and what getting laid off really mean. See, I don't care if you're a regular corporate white collar worker, or if you've already excelled up in the high levels of corporate America, or if you're an Amazon worker, or if you're a plant worker, if you're an automotive worker, if you work for a supplier, a warehouse, no matter where you work, if you've worked in the public sector, not the public sector, if you worked in the private sector or you worked for a regular corporate America, at some point you either feared it, it was right there on the table, you got downsized, you've seen other employees get laid off, or you've been laid off yourself. I don't know hardly anybody that has worked in the private sector that has not faced layoffs. That's just a part of life, baby. Come on in here with the rest of us. Oh, you thought that you was going to get your 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and that you was going to coast on taxpayer money, get your student loans forgiven, and then you was going to throw it up in men's faces and say, see, I don't need y'all. I can do what I want to do. See all of these basket weaving degrees behind me that we can't even see what they for? I got my master's degree. I got 8 PhDs because my job is paid for my schooling, and they forgave me for my loans, and you thought that you was going to throw it in our face. You're going to have to start eating what you kill like the rest of us. I told y'all, what was that, yesterday? I told you yesterday that the free ride was over. Now you got to compete because you can't just get paid off of regular taxpayer dollars. Now you got to compete. Now you feeling some type of way. Now you mad at me because I'm actually telling you the truth of what you're going to have to deal with on a regular basis. You're not special. You're not special. This is what the rest of us deal with for the longest. Even during the 2008 crisis, if you was a federal worker, you were largely protected. You just had to stay put, stay quiet, don't say nothing, don't let your chair go too far over to the left or too far over to the right. Just stay in your job and you ain't even have to deal with nothing. Pandemic, no problem. Meltdown in the stock market, we gonna get taxpayer dollars. Don't worry about it, we'll just run up the deficit. The rest of us, the company's profits, it went along with whatever it is that the jobs was going on at the time. If the company ain't doing well, you ain't doing well. If you doing well, the company may be doing well. You're gonna make way more money than everybody else, but you got to deal with the ebbs and flows of what happens inside of the market. For all of y'all public sector workers, you was largely protected. You ain't even have to deal with none of the stuff that we had to deal with. Back to reality. I told you, no more free rides. They got them young bulls over there at the Department of Government Efficiency going through and figuring out, getting your one sheet together. You don't even have a LinkedIn. You don't even know what it feels like to apply for a job anymore. You don't even have a cover letter. Your picture is outdated. You have a picture with hair on it and you ain't had hair in 15 years. You don't even look like your profile picture. You don't even look like your badge no more at work. You don't even look like your badge anymore at work. You are a completely different person than when you entered the workforce and you've been there for so long that you got comfortable. And now you got to start paying the piper. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to the ebbs and flows of what capitalism really look like. Welcome. Welcome to the real world. You done had 10 weeks of vacation time every year for the last 10 years. And it's just been rolling over and rolling over and rolling over. You don't even know who your supervisor is. You're going to know today. When Elon Musk get done with you, you're going to find out today. I don't care where you at. CIA, FBI, USAID, all of these abbreviations that we got in these departments, by 2026, it's on. You better go and get yourself together because it's going to come. It's coming, and you don't like the fact that I'm telling you. And I'm not even the person that's laying you off. I'm just the person that's giving you the information. I would suggest that you be very, very diligent in making sure that you take care of business right now. Don't wait for it to come to you. Prepare yourself for it because we got to take care of business. We got to get to it. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you what's going on.